Quick clinical warning here. Before you demand this level of static tension from your body, you've got to prime the tissues. A quick dynamic warm-up, think arm circles, leg swings, and some light torso twists for about 5 minutes, is absolutely crucial to get the blood flowing and prevent connective tissue strain. Here's the clinical progression we're using today. We've got lower body foundation, core and spinal armor, and postural realignment. For all these protocols, tracking your hold times is exactly how we measure progress. We're aiming for a strict 30 seconds per hold as your baseline benchmark, eventually pushing toward an elite 60 seconds. All right, let's move into phase 1, lower body stability protocols. This is all about building that foundation and balance. Protocol 1 is the static step up. You place one foot flat on a step, let the other hang back, press through the heel, lift exactly halfway up, and freeze. The joint positioning here is key. We want a clean, perfectly stable tracking line for the knee. Pausing mid-movement like this forces the quads, glutes, and calves to fire simultaneously just to stop you from wobbling. This creates knees that can actually handle serious athletic load. And this is exactly how stability translates into explosive competitive power. When your deep stabilizers are this strong, every ounce of force you push into the ground during a sprint or jump transfers directly into speed, instead of leaking out through wobbly joints. Next up is the warrior pose alignment. Step 1 foot forward into a deep lunge, stretch that back leg straight, raise those arms up, lock the hips open, and really engage the glutes. Now, I know this might look like a gentle Sunday morning stretch, but clinically, this is a full body power stance. Locking the hips and tightening the core builds tremendous spinal stability and grounded strength. It teaches your pelvis how to stay neutral, which directly applies to changing directions on a dime during a game. Moving on to phase 2, core activation and spinal armor. It's time to fire up those deep stabilizers. We're starting this section with strict isometric plank cues. Forearms flat, legs back, and the body locked in one perfectly straight line. Your abs need to tighten like steel cables, glutes squeezed, quads fired up. Total silence, zero movement, maximum tension. You know, what's really fascinating here is that without this silent foundational tension, all your other athletic movements basically crumble. This is your baseline benchmark. If you can't hold this perfect alignment for 60 seconds, your core is definitely leaking power during every single dynamic lift you do. To truly armor the spine, we need to talk about anti-rotation training. Clinically, this is the practice of engaging deep core stabilizers to resist twisting and tipping forces, which ensures precise spinal support and injury prevention. We train this using the bird dog hold. You reach the opposite arm and leg out and just freeze. It looks super easy, right? But internally, your deep stabilizers are firing like crazy to keep your spine perfectly centered against gravity. This translates directly to staying balanced when you're taking a hit in football or fighting for a rebound in basketball. Next is the Superman hold protocol. Lie face down, lift the arms, chest, and legs just a few inches off the floor, and freeze. You are literally fighting gravity to activate the posterior chain. This hold targets the completely forgotten backside of your core, the lower back, glutes, and hamstrings. As a physical therapist, I promise you this is a vital posture fix. We spend so much time training the mirror muscles on the front of our bodies that the backside gets weak, which leads straight to lower back pain. The Superman hold flips that switch, forcing the back to remember how to properly support you. All right, phase 3, upper body postural realignment. Let's reverse that structural decline. This protocol is brilliantly simple, but absolutely non-negotiable. The doorway lat stretch hold. You stand in a frame, grab above head height, and lean your hips back. This instantly opens the lats, expands the chest, and decompresses the spine. Hold it without bouncing or tugging. Just breathe. Your lats are massive muscles, and when they tighten up from sitting or poor posture, they pull your shoulders forward. This one hold frees up shoulder mobility, eases neck tension, and instantly improves your overhead reaching mechanics for sports like tennis or weightlifting. Let's build on that lat stretch by comparing 2 floor-based posture resets. First, the reverse plank. You sit with straight legs and lift your hips high, which activates the glutes and hamstrings for a total posture reset. Then there's the reverse tabletop, which uses bent knees to lift to a flat torso, highly targeting the chest and shoulders to reinforce a tall spine. By actively firing the muscles on the back of your body, you forcefully stretch those tight muscles on the front. It is quite literally a neurological reset for your posture. Next up is a seriously humbling test of full body tension, the isometric push-up. Drop into a push-up position, lower halfway down, lock the elbows at exactly 90 degrees, hover the chest, and maintain a perfectly straight spine. The visual cues here are crucial. That strict 90-degree lock is where maximum tension occurs. Your arms, abs, and back must work in absolute unison. Hips sag? The hold's over. Shoulders shrug? It's over. This builds incredible tendon strength in the elbows and shoulders, totally prepping your joints to handle heavy pressing movements later in your training cycle.
Finally, phase 4, the ultimate full body integration. This is all about achieving raw, synchronized stability.
The ultimate protocol here is the hollow body hold. Lie flat on the floor with your arms extended overhead. Lift your shoulders completely off the floor, raise your perfectly straight legs a few inches, press your lower back aggressively into the floor, and freeze. There's a reason this is a gymnastic staple. It fuses the abs, quads, and hip flexors into one unbreakable unit. You're basically turning your body into a rigid steel beam. The power transfer you gain from mastering this hold, it'll make your sprints faster, your deadlift safer, and your physical presence on the field entirely dominant. Which brings us to our final standard, the hollow body. And isometric training as a whole is really the hold that separates average from elite. You know, you can keep hitting the gym, doing the exact same dynamic movements, getting those fleeting pumps, and dealing with the same nagging joint pains. Or you can start demanding more from your nervous system. So I want to leave you with this to think about. Are you going to keep grinding through standard reps that leave you just fine? Or will you step into the stillness and start building a structurally unbreakable body in your very next session?